Hey, what's going on, Z Nation? Zaid here on ZSN. And today, guys, we're going to be talking about the Los Angeles Lakers and the trade that went down this morning. I made a whole video about my reaction at that particular moment when the Lakers finally made a trade with the um, Brooklyn Nets to get Dorian Finny-Smith. So if you guys want to go check out that video, go check it out. I really appreciate it and show me the love support for that video. I have to say, guys, it was a long time coming. The Lakers haven't made a trade in 2 years. So obviously, this was a big moment for the franchise to pursue somebody that was a huge need for this Lakers team when it came down to it in Dorian Finny-Smith. I went into the in depth about his skill set, what he brings to the table, and I'm gonna reiterate all of you guys about the whole Dorian Finney-Smith joining the Los Angeles Lakers and all that. And obviously, guys, just my first reaction to this move was that the Lakers got somebody that is a need desperately for this Lakers team. Obviously, Dorian Finney-Smith, guys, brings a lot to the table when it comes to his ability to really be a 3-and-D caliber player and can play multiple ends of the floor when it comes down to a skill set on the offensive side and especially the defensive side when it comes down to it. So this was a move that was much needed. And, the Lakers landed Dorian Finny-Smith when it's all said and done, guys. And, it was a long time coming. Finally, finally, when it comes to, Rob Pelinka finally make a move, he actually pulled it off. He got a need that was much needed for this Lakers team, and they got it in Dorian Finny-Smith when it's all said and done. And obviously, when you look at his stat lines, or actually, guys, before I get into the stats and everything, please be sure to like this live stream. And of course, follow me all across social media, Facebook, Instagram, X. I'm also on TikTok and Threads as well. So please be sure to follow me all across social media, hit that notification bell, and subscribe to ZSN on YouTube. It's really important that you do so you'll be in the know about everything about the Los Angeles Lakers, especially when it came to today's breaking news about Lakers trading for Dorian Finny-Smith, and also an add-on with Shake Milton and all that. So please be sure to just follow me all across social media, and of course subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell so you'll be in the know about everything about the Los Angeles Lakers. So please do so. I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's just get right into Dorian Finny-Smith, the new Laker added on to this Lakers roster. And obviously the rundown, just a quick rundown. If you guys want to go check out more in detail of the Lakers trade for Dorian Finny-Smith, go check out the video I uploaded this morning. I really appreciate if you show me love support on that. But, just getting into it, just the gist of it, according to Shams Charania of ESPN, obviously the Lakers traded DeAndre Russell and Maxwell Lewis and 3 second-round pick selections to get Dorian Finny-Smith and Shake Milton from the Brooklyn Nets. And obviously, when it came to this breaking news, I did not see it coming, honestly. I mean, it's been 2 years since the Lakers made a trade. So it's kind of like, maybe Lakers will make a trade at the trade deadline in February. And that will obviously improve our roster that way. But obviously, right away, Rob Pelinka made the swoop in, connected with the Brooklyn Nets, and he got the deal done with the Brooklyn Nets. Obviously, at first, the talks was with the Memphis Grizzlies and the Brooklyn Nets for Dorian Finny-Smith, but I guess something didn't go according to plan for the Memphis Grizzlies, and the Lakers just swooped in at the last minute and offered up 3 second-round pick selections in the trade, along with DeAndre Russell, who has a history with the Brooklyn Nets back in 2017 when the Lakers did trade him in 2017 with a first round pick, I believe, to get Brooke Lopez and a future uh, first round pick in that particular draft, which obviously landed us Kyle Kuzma. So it was a really, at the time, it was a much needed trade. And obviously, we got rid of a lot of cap space with Timofey Mozgov, obviously one of the worst signees that the Lakers made in franchise history. We don't want to reiterate about that particular mishap for sure, but at the same time, it was another deja vu moment when the Lakers traded again DeAndre Russell to the Brooklyn Nets once again, only this time getting a much needed need on this Lakers team. We're getting Dorian Finny-Smith to the Los Angeles Lakers. And, at that time, guys, it was a time then that was much needed. And again, this time around, it was another much needed move for the Lakers to make. And guys, honestly, I'm not mad. I'm not disappointed. I'm glad the Lakers made the move. Finally, they made a move to improve this roster. Getting Dorian Finney-Smith is the right move. And, for both sides, they both won in these particular trades. I mean, especially when it came to the Lakers' needs and the Brooklyn Nets just either getting future assets involved when it comes to the 3 second-round pick selections. I believe there's 2027 and 2030 and 2031 second round pick selections. So future assets for the Brooklyn Nets. And of course, they got DeAndre Russell, who obviously made a name for himself with the Brooklyn Nets. So obviously becoming an all-star and becoming a player that he is today. I mean, because of that. So obviously they're getting a player like that. And obviously a rookie or maybe like a second year player in Maxwell Lewis, who has a lot of potential down the line to maybe become a player of his own. Obviously, he was not going to get that with the Los Angeles Lakers, so he's going to get more opportunities for sure with the Brooklyn Nets without question, hopefully. But, it sort of depends if he sticks around with the franchise or not. But obviously, it was just it did not work out with the Lakers when it comes to, Maxwell Lewis. So, but there's some mixed reactions for sure. Obviously, there's some more positives than they are negatives. Most of the negatives are coming from when it comes to DeAndre Russell leaving the Lakers again. There's a lot of D'Lo fans, and I'm not gonna lie, I was at one point a fan of his, but lately, and it's mainly this season, he hasn't been that player that he once was last season, where he was like the third option and shooting around 43, 45% from the 3. I mean, he was an elite shooter for this Lakers team last year and becoming the third option at one point, becoming almost all-star caliber-esque in the regular season for the Los Angeles Lakers last season. But this season so far, he hasn't been living up to that expectation. So it was a much-needed move, but at the same time, we're going to miss, D'Lo for sure when it comes to his offensive abilities, his playmaking, his off-ball, everything. I mean, everything on the offensive side of the ball. He was just a great player to have on the Lakers team, when it comes down to it. Now, defensively, not the best, but we saw some improvement this season, but it was not to the extent that it was a big game changer for the Lakers at times. So, but when it comes to Dorian Finny-Smith, he can do everything, honestly. I mean, when you look at his stat line for the Los Angeles Lakers for the Brooklyn Nets, sure, doesn't really pop out at you, when it comes to the offensive side of the ball, and especially rebounding for a guy who's 6'7" at the power forward position. But at the same time, guys, I mean, the only thing that what he really brings to the table for me is that he can play multiple sides of the ball on the offensive side and defensive side. I mean, that's not what DeAndre Russell brought to the table for the Lakers on the defensive side of the ball. He was a great offensive guy, but and pretty elite at it. but at the same time, I mean, you were just not having a good uh, efforts on the defensive side when it comes to DeAndre Russell. But you're going to have that for sure in Dorian Finney-Smith when it's all said and done. I mean, guys, I just have to say it was a good add-on to this Lakers team. We really needed some great improvements from this Lakers roster when it comes to the big position and just adding on more depth when it comes to the defensive side of the ball. Just imagine just the lineups that JJ Redick could put together when it comes to this add-on to the Lakers roster in Dorian Finney-Smith. I mean, when it comes to his skill set, guys, I mean, he just a good shooter. I mean, this season so far, he's averaging 43% from the three. Now, could we see a decline? Because there's been a trend for sure when it comes to, Lakers players coming to the Lakers and becoming good shooters and all. But when it comes to the Lakers side of things, they completely fall apart at the shooting position. But I don't know, maybe it will drop down. You never know. But at the same time, I mean, he has been, really, making his craft well known in the NBA when it comes to his shooting ability, what he brings to the table in the NBA, and especially with the Brooklyn Nets at the time. And now with the Lakers, we're going to have that for sure on the table for the Lakers moving forward. And also just, defensive side. I mean, he can bring a lot to the table when it comes to, protecting the rim and potentially having a good pair up with Anthony Davis and also Rui Hachimura at the same time. And I also mentioned it in my last video that I uploaded this morning when it comes to the whole idea of a good pairing and a good fit next to Anthony Davis, and of course, Rui Hachimura would obviously fit very well with Dorian Finny-Smith added on. So this is a good move by Rob Pelinka to add on, Dorian Finny-Smith when it comes down to it, guys. I mean, this was a right move for the Lakers to make when it came to his skill set, what he brings to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers. So, and it's good that we have an opportunity to say that a 3-and-D caliber player has been added to this Lakers team. I mean, we've been desperately needing one with no Christian Wood, no Vando, and no Jackson Hayes. It was just a complete gut of the bigs position. I mean, the only available players that we had on this Lakers rotation was just Anthony Davis and Christian Coloco. And that's the sad reality. I mean, there's times when LeBron needed to step up at the center position at times, or maybe Rui Hachimura at times, or even power forward. I mean, it was just so depleted that, it was a big void, but the Lakers still managed to be above 500 and be competitive in the Western Conference, which is so loaded that at this point, I'm so surprised that they are where they're at right now. So give credit where credit is due to the players to play their best basketball with the lack of need that's on this Lakers team. So, but finally, help is on the way with Dorian Finny-Smith being part of the Los Angeles Lakers now. And he's going to bring a lot to the table, guys. I have to really say, I mean, even some of you may disagree with this particular move by the Los Angeles Lakers. But at the same time, at the end of the day, it's going to be a huge add-on to this Lakers team. I mean, the 3-and-D caliber guy, somebody that we haven't had for quite some time now. I mean, if you think about the 3-and-D caliber players that were on the Lakers in the past, you think about Danny Green, you think about KCP. I mean, those were the type of guys that were players that can shoot, but at the same time play really good defense for you on both sides of the ball. And, we didn't have that in DeAndre Russell, unfortunately. He was a great offensive guy, but, at the same time, he did try to play some defense this season, but it was not to the best of his ability. But with Dorian Finney-Smith, you're going to have in both sides of the ball. He's not going to bring a lot of scoring to the table. I mean, the reality is he's not going to bring that to the table. I mean, he can give you up to 12 10 points a game. There's going to be nights where he could potentially give you 19 or 20 points per game, but those are just going to be on the rare occasions. But the best trait that he brings to the table, guys, is his shooting. His shooting will bring a lot to the table. Like I said, he shot 43% for the Brooklyn Nets this season. I mean, just imagine. Maybe it will decline once he joins the Lakers, because it's been like a trend now that every time there's a really good elite shooter that joins the Lakers, their stat lines from the shooting ranges just completely diminishes. So it's been that trend, sadly. But you never know. Maybe things will work out when it comes to the shooting efforts from Dorian Finny-Smith. But, we just have to wait and see about that. I mean, it's just a matter of time until we'll see what he brings to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers. Sort of remains to be seen when he will potentially debut as a Los Angeles Laker. It could be against the Cleveland Cavaliers on Tuesday, but we just have to wait and see about that. It sort of remains to be seen what he will be available to potentially join the Lakers. So it's just we just have to wait and see about that. But I like this move. It was a good much needed player to be added on to this Lakers team. The depth is obviously going to bring a lot to the table once we see the returns of Vando and Christian Wood and of course Jackson Hayes. I think if anything, I don't think he's going to be part of the starting lineup. That's for sure. But I think when it comes to the rotations, I think he's going to be like the sixth man coming off the bench for the Los Angeles Lakers for sure. I mean, he just brings a lot to the table and a much needed help for the Lakers coming off the bench. So if anything, he's going to bring a lot to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers for sure. So much needed help, that surprisingly Rob Pelinka pulled off. And that's what I'm so surprised that we got Dorian Finny-Smith. I mean, this was a good decision move by the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes down to it. So, but yeah, I mean, when you think about the other player that's been added on to the Los Angeles Lakers in this trade, Shake Milton, he is a point guard. He's 6'5". For some reason, in my video that I uploaded this morning, I kind of got them mixed up. Apologies ahead of time if you guys are watching it. For some reason, I was mentioning, Dorian Finny-Smith at 6'5". No, he's actually 6'7", a power forward position. So I got them mixed up. So my apologies if you're watching the live stream, or no, excuse me, the video that I uploaded this morning. I got them mixed up. But Shake Milton, 6'5", a combo guard. This is a good trait to have when it comes to a guard-esque player. Obviously, he brings that sort of ability to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, will he be a big game changer for the Lakers? I don't think so, because, if anything, he will be part of the rotations for sure, potentially backing up by the time, if the Lakers, obviously, the only point guard that's on the roster currently is Gabe Vincent, who's currently injured at the moment against the Kings last night. So, his availability is still unknown, but you never know. He could be ready to go, but we just have to wait and see about the updates of his return. But the only available point guard is Gabe Vincent, and the backup, well, obviously, it's going to be Austin Reeves going to be the point guard. But at the same time, the backup rotations, he is behind when it comes to Shake Milton. He's going to be a backup behind Gabe Vincent for sure. But, for me, when it comes to this trade, it's kind of like an add-on. It's an add-on trade for Dorian Finney-Smith. And, Lakers could have just said, no, we just want Dorian Finny-Smith. We don't want to add on another salary. But the good news about Shake Milton's contract is that it's non-guaranteed. So, this is a good situation when it comes to the Lakers not having another, cap player being added on to your roster for good. I mean, it's only a non-guarantee. So anything, if he doesn't live up to the expectations for the Lakers and he doesn't help out the team in a big way, the Lakers could potentially just waive him, and it would not affect them cap wise. So this is a kind of like a win scenario for the Lakers if somehow Shake Milton doesn't work out with the Los Angeles Lakers. So um, just judging by his stat line, I'm looking at it right now. He has averaged 7 points per game for the Brooklyn Nets, played for 29 games. Uh, Gives you like 2 assists a game. And for some reason, it's not showing his shooting percentage, but I can see it right here. He did shoot for these 27 games for the Brooklyn Nets. He has averaged 38 percent from the three. So it's not a bad percentage for a shooter of uh, his abilities of what he brings to the table. So, but he has there's a knock on him though. He has bounced around with numerous teams in one season. I mean, just looking at it now from 2023 and 2024 season, he was with the Minnesota Timberwolves, uh, the Detroit Pistons, and the New York Knicks for three three teams in one season. So he was bounced around a lot, and that's obviously a kind of a knock on him because uh, of just that alone. But he is an NBA player. I mean, this guy has the capabilities of staying with an NBA team because he does bring a type of need to the table when it comes down to it. I mean, he has the capabilities of being part of a franchise if needed. So, like I said, guys, he's not going to be a big game changer. If anything, if he does show up, that'll be great. But at the same time, I don't see him as a long term part of the rotation for the Lakers. So, in any given moment, I think they're going to either waive him at the end of the season or maybe mid-season. You never know, but it will just not affect the Lakers' cap space because it's non-guarantee. So this is good news for the Lakers if they ever want to, pursue another player that's available in free agency after the trade deadline. They could just potentially waive Shake Milton and go after somebody who could be available in the waiver market uh, to sign them after the trade deadline. So that's good news in a sense for that when it comes to the Los Angeles Lakers. So, but hopefully we can see some effort out of Shake Milton. You never know, but at the same time, I think he would not make a huge bit of a big, I guess, presence on the Lakers roster, if anything. So I just wish him nothing but the best, when it comes to the Lakers, being part of the Lakers. And if he does show up and amazes us, then yeah, I mean, you can still have him on. I mean, I think he's on like a 3 year, maybe a 2 year contract. When he was with the Brooklyn, that the Brooklyn Nets gave him. But it's just sort of remains to be seen what he will honestly be with the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, at this point, he could be just remain as a part of the rotation, and if a player gets injured, he will be called up type of scenario. So, um, but the main target was Dorian Finny-Smith. I mean, that was the goal that the Lakers wanted to get, and they got it from this particular move by Rob Pelinka, and they got him. They got him. They got a guy that was much needed for this Lakers team. He can play multiple sides of the ball. More on the defensive side, more than anything, but he can shoot. Like I said, 43% from the three, which obviously brings a lot to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers in that particular area of their game. But at the same time, defense will play a big role as well for the Los Angeles Lakers and what Dorian Finny-Smith brings to the table for the Lakers. So my hope is that he will live up to that. And, I believe he's on an expiring contract, so he is a free agent at the end of the season. But there's could be a likely scenario for sure that the Lakers will re-sign him or give him an extension. So that is a potential, you know, move for the Lakers, and they have bird rights on him. So if he does get a contract somewhere else with another team in free agency, the Lakers could match that. So that is a good perk for the Lakers to have when it comes to keeping Dorian Finney-Smith on the Los Angeles Lakers after this season obviously in free agency. So that's something to really keep in mind of when it comes to the situation on that particular front. But still, I mean, Dorian Finney-Smith, guys. I mean, this was a good move by the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes down to it. I mean, this was a move that was much needed, and we obviously needed desperately. I mean, the only bigs that were on the Los Angeles Lakers were Anthony Davis and Christian Coloco, a two-way contract player. So, there's certain limits for two-way contract players to play on the NBA level. I think it's up to 60 games. So, and we're only 30 games in. So, this is a situation where, and plus he doesn't play in postseason games. So the Lakers obviously needed the help that they can get. Now, obviously they could have waited until Jackson Hayes to return and Christian Wood and Vando to return, but how long will you survive this particular run that they're on right now once you reach the postseason? I mean, the Lakers obviously needed desperate help when it comes to the big position. And obviously that's what they did. And they got Dorian Finney-Smith in the trade. And this was a right move for the Lakers, and also the right move for the Brooklyn Nets side of things. I mean, they cleared off cap space, and they only accepted expiring contract. And it's not just the Brooklyn Nets; it's basically all teams are doing that. They are looking at players that are on expiring contracts, and teams have to give up more for that to happen. That's obviously what the Lakers did with the Brooklyn Nets, and with those 3 second-round pick selections. And let's be clear here. I mean, the 3 second-round pick selection is a give up in a big way. I mean, the Lakers in the past have done very well when it comes to adding on really good second-round pick selections. I mean, look at Jordan Clarkson. You have what's his name? What's his name? Oh man, the name escapes me at the moment. Damn. But the Lakers in the past have drafted some really good players in the second round, and other teams as well have done the same. I mean, Draymond Green, 4-time champion, multiple defensive player of the year, and he was drafted in the second round. So let's not kid ourselves. I mean, the second round selections is very valuable for every single team because you can get some really good players in the second round when it comes down to it. So, and Max Christie. Max Christie was the guy that I could not think of for the life of me. My apologies. Even though he has been playing very well this season, and I can't believe his name is just escapes me at the moment. But yeah, Max Christie, another player that drafted in the second round, and look how he's playing so far this season. I mean, he's living up to the expectations, even though he had a rocky start. So to the start of the season. So, second round pick selections is very valuable for every single team when it comes down to it. So this was a right move for the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes down to it. And the fact that they only gave up just second round pick selections, it's a good move by the Lakers, because I was afraid that any team wanted to make a deal with the Lakers, they're going to fleece them with first round pick selections. And obviously, Dorian Finny-Smith, with all due respect, he is not worthy of first round pick selections. I mean, let's just be clear on that. And any team, really, when it comes to, Jeremy Grant or, just any of those type of players that Lakers could have targeted to improve the team, if anything, first round pick selections are only valuable for me to get like an all-star caliber player, or a player in a sense, I don't know, Walker Kessler. I mean, give him one first round pick for that guy. I mean, that's worthy in my opinion, because he's young and he's in the development, when it comes to his skill set, what he brings to the table. So Personally, I think this was a right decision for the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes down to it. So that's my own personal opinion when it comes to this particular deal that was done by the Los Angeles Lakers with the Brooklyn Nets. And at the same time, both teams won in this trade. It's a very fair trade, and they got it done when it comes down to it, honestly. So, but yeah, guys, I mean, this was a right trade for the Lakers, I have to say. And I just really can't wait to see what Dorian Finney-Smith brings to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers. I mean, it sort of remains to be seen, uh, if any decline, compared to the pressure that he will, be added to him when it comes to being part of the Los Angeles Lakers. Maybe things will be different. I mean, I don't know. It sort of remains to be seen what he brings to the table, but I think he's going to bring a lot of, uh, great abilities for this Lakers team. I mean, the much needed one was that the big position, what's also a big need for the Lakers. To help out Anthony Davis and obviously Rui Hachimura and LeBron James at the big positions. So, and I think it's not really going to hurt Dorian Finney-Smith in the future once we see the returns of Vando and Christian Wood and Jackson Hayes. I think he's going to be a big part of the Lakers rotation for sure. And there's no doubt. I mean, if he's putting in the work and helping us win games with his abilities, his shooting, his defense, being the 3-and-D caliber guy that he is, I don't no doubt in my mind. I think he's going to be a big part of the Lakers rotation for sure. Even if Vando or Christian Wood or Jackson Hayes returns, so it just sort of remains to be seen. Sort of remains to be seen what he brings to the table, but I think in that sort of instance of rotations. So, it's just we just have to wait and see what the Lakers will potentially or what Dorian Finney-Smith will bring to the table for the Los Angeles Lakers by the time he makes his debut. So, really can't wait for sure. All right. Gonna read some comments here before I end this live stream. And for those of you who are watching, thank you all so much for joining and hearing me out. And I know I kind of jumbled some things here and there, but hopefully I got the gist of everything when it comes to my reaction to Lakers landing Dorian Finney-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets and them trading DeAndre Russell, Maxwell Lewis, and 3 second-round picks for Dorian Finney-Smith and Shake Milton from the Brooklyn Nets. And if I had to give a grade, I'll give it a B because, it's just obviously it's great to have Dorian Finney-Smith, a much needed help coming their way with the rotations, still players being injured and still out due to injury. This was just the right move for Rob Pelinka to make because of the needs that we obviously needed desperately from this Lakers team with the lack of defensive efforts and the lack of shooting at the big position. Obviously, it's the right move for the Lakers to make to get Dorian Finney-Smith. So, it's still a B for me. I mean, a caliber number has to be for somebody like like an Anthony Edwards or like which is it's never going to happen, but or just that type of caliber need that will change our franchise for the better. But it's just one of those situations when it comes to you know like what will the Lakers do to potentially become contenders? I mean, I still think they are a playoff contending team. It kind of increased a bit when it comes to the standings and them being competitive in the Western Conference. But if you do, I still think the Lakers need to potentially make some other trades after this move. And the question that I have for all of you really is, what's next for the Lakers? At this point, anything could happen. When it comes to the Lakers still improving this roster, I still don't think that they are done. I still think they will make some other moves to come. I mean, I still think they need to add on another center. They need to potentially add on another another point guard with DeAndre Russell leaving. So, it is a situation where the Lakers just had to make some couple of moves to improve this team. I still think, Jonas Valanciunas is still a target for the Lakers with the Washington Wizards. So, and there's also we need to remember with DeAndre Russell being gone, the type of trades that we kind of thought the Lakers will make when it comes to pursuing players that are above 20 million type of contracts is kind of, you know, left the building in a sense because, unless if they want to trade Rui Hachimura, which I don't think they're going to trade Rui Hachimura unless there's a big trade that will, uh, you know, be a huge help for this Lakers team. But other than that, I think they're still going to keep Rui Hachimura. Uh, Gabe Vincent, if he's healthy, could draw a lot of interest for certain teams. If anything, but and then there's Jalen Hood-Schifino, who is another asset trade value that the Lakers could potentially make. But we just have to wait and see about that. But other than that, I mean, the Lakers are not out of the question to add some more pieces to the table to this Lakers team. I mean, I still think there's going to be another trade that's potentially going to happen. I mean, it's not going to happen right away. Maybe it will happen at the trade deadline, if anything, in February. But you know, they need to add on another center to help out Anthony Davis for sure. And obviously, another point guard is another priority for this Lakers team. Now, I'm not sure whose type of point guard the Lakers should potentially pursue with DeAndre Russell's contract out of the Lakers books. It's kind of difficult to see who the Lakers could potentially target to fill in that role that DeAndre Russell put on this Lakers team. But um, it's just we have to wait and see. I don't really know anybody at the moment that will be a good replacement in for DeAndre Russell. But it just sort of remains to be seen what the Lakers could potentially do to potentially improve the roster that in that sort of instance. So at the point guard position. So we just have to wait and see what the Lakers will do in that particular area. But a center is a priority for sure. Number one for me when it comes down to it. Um, you know, Jonas Valanciunas is still an option for the Lakers to potentially pursue for me, but there's also Nick Richards from the Charlotte Hornets. I think he will be a nice piece to this Lakers team. If anything, I think he will be more of a backup center for sure for this Lakers team, but I think he would just bring a lot to the table to just carry the load off of Anthony Davis more than anything in the rotation. If anything, I mean, I think the Lakers can potentially pursue a guy like him who is not making a lot of money. Of his contract, I think he's making around like 12 million, maybe 10 million, something like that. I might be mistaken, but it'll be a nice addition to this Lakers team for sure, which I think the Lakers could potentially look at for sure. And I made a whole video about it like maybe a couple of months ago. So if you guys want to go check that out, I really appreciate it. He's another option that the Lakers could potentially pursue in the trade market for sure. So, but yeah, I still think Lakers will pursue another trade. It just sort of makes me see what is out there for the Lakers to pursue next after DeAndre Russell leaving and then getting Dorian Finny-Smith. So it's not out of the question. And if you guys have any thoughts about it, please give me your thoughts about it in the comment section. I really want to know your thoughts about it for sure. So, but let's read these comments from Adam Hurley. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Let's see here. I don't understand what factuation with Dorian Finney-Smith is. He doesn't score or rebound much at all. He doesn't get assists. He had a defensive rating of 116 and higher for the last 3 years straight. Yeah, I mean, there's some flaws to his stat line. I get it. But at the same time, though, he is a 3-and-D caliber player, and it's really rare to have a player like that on your team. And it's kind of hard to say if things will change once he's part of the Los Angeles Lakers, and maybe he will let up his rebounding percentage, or maybe just being more of a, not so much of a scorer, but maybe more of a shooter, a catch and shoot type of player. So he's not going to bring a lot to the table. I mean, he's not like a type of player that's like, oh my gosh, we got this guy type of feeling. But at the same time, it was a need that the Lakers needed to pursue. Sure, it sucks to see DeAndre Russell leaving. And, he was a guy that would bring scoring, who would bring shooting to the table for you. But at the same time, the Lakers really need a desperate need at the depth position when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, especially bigs as well. So it was a need, number one priority for the Lakers to make a trade in that particular area of their game. So if that means you have to sacrifice, a player that was really good for you last season, who was giving you 18, 20 points per game and shooting around 43% from the three, just great offensively. Uh, that's the sacrifice you need to make. And, don't underestimate, Dorian Finny-Smith. I mean, I think he will bring a lot to the table to the Los Angeles Lakers, if anything. I mean, he will bring a lot to the table, in my opinion. We just have to, you know, wait and see on his debut if he live up to that expectations for sure. I think he needs a couple more games in with the Los Angeles Lakers to show what he's actually made of. So we just have to be patient. And hopefully hope that he lives up to that expectations for the Los Angeles Lakers when it comes down to it. So. We just have to be patient, Adam. We just have to be patient. We'd have to see. We haven't seen him play yet for us to really criticize his game yet. So hopefully he will bring a lot to the table. Hopefully once he is debuts with the Los Angeles Lakers. Hopefully he'll be on Tuesday. I want to see what he is capable of being right away. But you never know. Maybe he'll debut next year in January in 2025. So we just have to wait and see. I personally think we got ripped off. I don't think we got ripped off. I really don't. I really don't. I mean, this was a win-win on both sides when it comes to this particular trade. For the Lakers side of things, you're getting a 3-and-D caliber player who can play great defensively and at the same time can be a good shooter for you and especially for a size player like him, who is a power forward player. So, he can bring a lot to the table in that sort of area of his game. But, we just have to wait and see. We have to wait and see if he lives up to that because, he is on an expiring contract of his own. So you never know. The Lakers could potentially just let him walk. Or if he shows up and balls out and help us win games, I mean, there's no doubt about it that he will get extended or the Lakers will give him a contract this offseason. So, it's we just have to wait and see what he brings to the bill. But I don't think the Lakers got ripped off. That's just my personal opinion. I really don't. And the Brooklyn Nets, I mean, they got DeAndre Russell. He's on an expiring contract. If he's not of the Brooklyn Nets future, he could just potentially just walk and join a different team. And the Brooklyn Nets, sure, they got 3 second-round picks, and that's kind of like a big sacrifice that the Lakers have to give up that much for him. But at the same time, I mean, you have to do what you have to do. I mean, I'm glad they didn't ask for a first-round pick. I mean, that's a good thing for the Lakers in that particular situations that they made in this particular trade. So, but yeah, I don't think the Lakers got ripped off. I really don't. D'Lo was our best bench player. I mean, he was the only bench player available for this Lakers team. And other than Dalton Connect, he is a type of good, bench player that the Lakers had. But there were times where he did not show up at times and for the bench role, and it kind of hurt the Lakers at times, when it came down to it. So that's why I still think Lakers will make some moves after this trade. So, it is not out of the question the Lakers will add on some more help coming their way for the second unit. So, we just have to wait and see. We really have to just wait and see how things will turn out for the Lakers when it comes to adding on some better depth and better rotation. Plus, we'll see the returns very soon when it comes to Vando and Christian Wood and also Jackson Hayes. So, we just have to wait and see for sure. We just whipped the Kings last night without LeBron and AD. D'Lo played 29 minutes. Why did D'Lo take all the blame? Laker fans are not that bright, my guy. I mean, okay, man. Yeah, without LeBron James, the Lakers obviously beat the Kings, but the Kings were not playing so well themselves. I mean, let's be real. They just fired their head coach, and they are in turmoil. So, this was because of that move that they made a couple of days ago. So the franchise are upside down. So, this was a perfect opportunity for the Lakers to just add salt to the wound with their situation and get the win. And most of the efforts came from Austin Reeves and Anthony Davis. So the efforts came from the starting lineups, if anything. I mean, Rui Hachimura shooting very well in that game, and Anthony Davis playing with what he had 36 points or 34 points in the game. So he balled out. And then you have Austin Reeves, who had 26 points, and he balled out. Rui Hachimura played in that very well in that game as well. And Max Christie finding a new light since he got inserted into the starting lineup. So he's finding his rhythm, especially on the defensive side of the ball. But the problem we still have is the point guard position, even though Austin Reeves has been playing very well in that role, when it comes down to it. So, and D'Lo, since he got benched, he hasn't been really showing a lot of effort, in my opinion, but, still he has showed that he can be a really good offensive player, at times when it comes down to it. So, I don't think, if anything, this was, I don't know, man. I disagree what you had to say here, but I don't know. It was not just D'Lo is not like the mold of the team. Okay, if anything, he kind of fractured it once he started not to play very well in the starting lineup, and it was a smart move by JJ Redick to bench him for, at the time, Cam Reddish, who played lights out, and the Lakers went on the 6-game winning streak because of him, and because of the decisions by JJ Redick. So, at the same time, it sucks to see D'Lo go, but at the same time, he didn't really, play the best of his ability because of, I guess you could say, I don't know, maybe because of the trade rumors that are in his head or something. I'm not sure. But last season he played great. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, he played, was like the third option in shooting around 43% from the three. I mean, he was the best shooter on this Lakers team last season. So, and this was the same old roster. So, but at the same time, he hasn't been really showing that so far this season. So, if anything, if you want to put the blame on somebody, you have to put the blame on the Lakers organization, the Rob Pelinkas, because of them not finding the right needs for this Lakers team. But they finally got it in Dorian Finny-Smith. I think he has a lot of potential and it will bring a lot to the table for this Lakers team as a 3D caliber player. So, that's just my opinion about that. Gabe Vincent has to go because Dorian Finny-Smith doesn't score much at all, just like him. Okay, still showing hate for Dorian Finny-Smith, and he hasn't played as a Laker yet. So just show some patience, Adam. Show some patience. But I agree, Gabe Vincent, has to be the next person to go, even though lately he has been showing up at times. But hopefully there's a trade out there that the Lakers could potentially pursue. But, we just have to wait and see, hopefully. Let's see here from Daniel. What's up, everybody? What's up to you, Daniel? Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Pretty good move. Yeah, I mean, at least there's some positivity for this move. I just have to, have to say about that. I mean, this was a good move by the Los Angeles Lakers at the end of the day, guys. I mean, this was a much needed need that the Lakers made, and hopefully he lives up to the expectations. I hope moving forward, because he is somebody that honestly can bring a lot to the table for this Lakers team. Especially being a 3-and-D caliber player that he is, can defend and can obviously shoot for you. So shooting around 43% so far with the Brooklyn Nets, and just in general, he's been averaging around like what 30, 38, 39% from the three in his career. So, this is a good move by the Lakers. And plus, a big that can shoot. I mean, that's rare to find. So, especially for a 3-and-D caliber player. So, he's going to bring a lot to the table. I really hope that, he lives up to that, hopefully. But we just have to wait and see what he brings to the table on his debut. So, just really can't wait. Really can't wait what he brings to the table. Wanted Cam Thomas also. Yeah, I don't think the Brooklyn Nets were going to include him in that because he's such a good asset to the team. And I believe he just returned tonight. So if anything, he could potentially, bring a lot of value for the Brooklyn Nets if a team wants to potentially trade for him. So we just have to wait and see what he will what the Brooklyn Nets or Cam Thomas will be for the Brooklyn Nets. If anything, so far what I've been hearing, Cam Johnson, he is a potential target for all teams, including the Lakers. But even after this move, so because any team that Cam Johnson will be on, every team will elevate with him. So we just have to wait and see what he will be for the Lakers. What he will be for any team that will trade for him. But yeah, Cam Thomas, I think will also be a good need for any team that pursues him for sure. But I don't think the Lakers will for sure. I don't think so. But yeah, I just don't see it happening. But yeah, I mean, after this move, I still think the Lakers will potentially target somebody else. I mean, that's still another priority that they will do. But obviously, number of priorities to add on another center to this Lakers team, even with the return potentially of Jackson Hayes. It's still we need help at the center position. Christian Coloco is not cutting it, sadly, but still, there's been times that he has been showing up at times, but not to the high extent that is, the expectation was. But I don't know. We just have to wait and see what Lakers will do to improve in that particular area of their game. But if anything, we just have to hope that the Lakers will make another trade. They still have a couple of assets that they can throw in, especially those first round picks. But my hope is that the right trade comes about that is worthy of our first round picks. We just have to wait and see what's out there for the Lakers to potentially do. So, I mean, like I mentioned, if the Lakers don't want to give up their first round picks and just give up a couple of players to just make contracts match, you can do it with Nick Richards of the Charlotte Hornets, if anything. And also there is a veteran center. Obviously, we all know him, in Brook Lopez. I don't think the Milwaukee Bucks will ask a lot for him, and I think his value is kind of declined. But anything could happen when it comes to now and the trade deadline for the Lakers to potentially, get a center for sure. The second priority is another point guard for sure. But anything could happen when it comes to the needs in that particular area. But we have until the trade deadline. Lakers could potentially make some phone calls and make some trades happen for sure. So we just have to wait and see. But yeah, guys, I mean, thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. the Lakers, breaking news, landed Dorian Finny-Smith from the Brooklyn Nets and got a trade done finally. After countless months of waiting for trades to happen, and it finally happened today uh, with the trade for Dorian Finny-Smith, and obviously the Lakers really got some needed help coming their way with Dorian Finney-Smith, and with his 3-and-D caliber self, and just him abilities to shoot and also be a really good defender. So my hope is that he will live up to that expectations. Hopefully, moving forward, once he debuts and helps us win games after this, because it was much needed help, and we got it for sure with Dorian Finney-Smith as a Los Angeles Lakers. So really can't wait for more. Really can't wait for more needs to be added on. Hopefully, by the time we reach the trade deadline. So hopefully things will be good for the Lakers. Hopefully, by the time we reach that particular point. So really can't wait. Really can't wait. So thank you all so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you haven't yet, go check out the video I uploaded this morning when it came to the Lakers landing Dorian Finney-Smith. And please give me your thoughts about that in the comment section. And of course, guys, follow me all across social media: Facebook, Instagram, X. I'm also on TikTok and Threads as well. The links will be in the description of this live stream, so you guys check me out on social media. And of course, guys, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next live stream and the next video. Thanks so much for watching. And also, I want to thank Adam Hurley and also Daniel for you guys' comments on here. I really appreciate it as well. Thank you for the conversations that we had, some agreements, some disagreements. But at the end of the day, this was a good conversation. I really appreciate it. So thank you all so much. I really appreciate all the love, support, and for joining me on this live stream. And I'll see you all in the next live stream and the next video. The Lakers will face the Cleveland Cavaliers on Tuesday for the last game of 2024. So if you guys want to join me, make sure to hit that notification bell, subscribe to the channel so you will know when I go live for those post-game shows that I give every single game after the game. So please do so. I really appreciate it. And I'll see you all in the next live stream and the next video. Thanks so much for watching. Go Lakers. Take it easy, guys. Stay safe out there.